Alright, so are you wondering how to actually use the Realist Card inside of your MLS and have no clue where to go? Well, guess what? I am here to help you. I'm Dustin with Mantle Realty, and let's dive into the Realist tax card information. First up, you're going to go and find wherever your Realist Card actually is, and then we're going to actually search by the address. So you can search by anything that you want to, but we are going to search by the address. And so we are going to do one that I know pretty well, 1117 Caldwell Street in Greensboro. Now, why are we going to do this way? Because it makes life a little bit easier. So as you can see, the first dashboard was actually a little bit of a change. The rest of the back end, they haven't touched a bit. So if you want to see what's going on with the property, here you are. So now we can see who the owner of the actual property is, the MLS. See, it says MLS bedrooms, MLS bathrooms, half bathrooms, how much they paid for it, when they bought it, square footage, lot size, year built, types, things like that. Down here, community insight. Let's not put too much weight inside of this here, because the median home value inside of the local area around there is definitely not $300,000, but it's okay, we are still there. And then we're going to go down here to the schools. It gives you a generic school rating and things like that. Nothing out of the ordinary. Remember, as a realtor, we cannot tell people if something is in a good area, bad area, good school district, whatnot. So down here is where you're going to find all the other information of zoning and the subdivision that it's sitting in, things like that. Next section, the tax card information and the tax ID. You are going to need this whenever you actually fill out an offer to purchase. If you want to be a good agent, put this stuff in. The attorneys will love you, because if for some reason that there is two parcels that is on one tax card and you don't put both parcels, they might be trying to sell just one of them to you by the end of the day. So right here we can see the tax ID. This one's highlighted because it's supposed to go to the county that it's located in and the county tax card. We're going to click on it in a little bit and see if it actually works. The next one is just another PIN number and then the legal descriptions. So right here you can see the plat mat, book 4, page 182. This is usually the exact same tax ID as that one. It's just not highlighted. All right, so let's look at this tax card from Greensboro and see if it matches up. So we're going to click right here, and we see it actually does go to the property. All right, and then we are going to look at the appraised value and stuff like that. $60,700. $60,700. So it never changed right there. The square footage is still the same, the acreage is still the same, everything else is still in here. You can get the deed book and page for your listing agreements or offer to purchases either right here or down here. There you go. So you see they match up, 2217, 2217. So there's my deeds, and every county's tax card is completely different. So on here, we can see the plat book map. There you go, that. Here is the building that's there. Tells you how many baths. Again, you don't know if this is correct. Whenever you go into a property, you still don't know if it's correct because they could have done an addition and not had it permitted. And so right here, we've got, an open front porch, a stoop, that kind of situation. There's a new picture of that property. Still looks about the same. And then any other improvements? Nope. The land, here's your zoning, the rate of which they think the land value is. There's the deeds, the previous deeds, things like that. And there's the sales that are around the property itself. So 155, 185, 115, 83, 175. So you can sort of see like that 200 thing was completely wrong based off square footage. And photos. There's just the one photo there, and the tax bill. So it tells you if the tax bill's paid up. View ownership, things like that, print. Everything that you need to actually get your listing agreement started. So these two listings actually match up pretty well. All right, now we're gonna scoot on down to tax assessment situation. As you can see, it says 2023. We are in 2024 right now. So what do I need to do? I need to still go to Guilford County, right here, their tax department, to see if the tax value has changed. if I don't go and pull this year's tax card, I might be doing what's called negligent omission. The tax value might have changed. The tax rate on the actual property might have changed. So this total taxes due per year could go up, could go down. I might be doing a disservice to a buyer or a seller, depending on which way you want to look at it. It might be more taxes that are being paid. So this is a good example. From 2021 to 2022, the tax value went up 27.73%. Huge difference. So $180 for a starter home, that's a big increase for somebody right here. So you want to make sure that the tax value hasn't changed or the tax rate, because sometimes they do add, a percentage point on something like that for school bond or highway construction, stuff like that. We're going to get taxed to death. Anyways, I digress. Now we're going to go down to the characteristics of the actual property. Building square footage. Notice it doesn't say it's heated square footage, primary heated square footage. It just says building square footage. This usually is the heated square footage, but sometimes they are going to include stuff that us as realtors can't. Sometimes it's going to have a screened-in porch that's in that square footage, or a unfinished basement that's in that square footage, or an attic space, something that doesn't have enough ceiling height to be considered square footage. So you still need to go measure. If you're going off of just this tax value, it might be completely wrong. Again, doing a disservice and could get yourself a naughty letter from the real estate commission. Nobody wants any of that. Other things that you're going to want to see off of here is this information is not always correct. How do I know this? Because I got messed up on it on my own. I put something had a fireplace because the Realist Card said it had a fireplace and I didn't remember, so I went ahead and put it in there, and it did not have a fireplace. So I had to run back and go fix my listing after I realized that the Realist Card was not always correct. All right, so we see bedrooms, baths, again, could be incorrect. Cooling type could be incorrect, but it's a good starting point for you to go look at and make sure, okay, or to pull values off of the property and make sure that you're looking at the same kind of properties. Lot acreage, frontage, depth, all this stuff we need to look at on our own. All right, so the sell score indicator, something new that Realist has put out for everybody, and what it just says is like what they think that the relative likelihood a property will be listed for sale in the next 6 months. So this property is at a 683, meaning that it's a high chance that this property is going to be listed in the next 6 months. They say that very high from an 831 to 1,000 is really likely like 5% above, and then the low and very low, as you can see, is probably not likely to sell. All right, so the rental trends show you what they think the property would actually rent for. I'm not putting too much weight in this. You need to do your own research to see if a neighborhood's the same. If it sticks out like a sore thumb, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, you don't know whether this property is actually going to rent for this amount or not, or if it's going to rent for way more because it's just a unique property in the area. Tell you what, let's do. Let's look. Let's just see what Zillow says the rental value of this one is. Okay. Zillow's estimate right here. See, look, list your homes for rent for $1,284. So that's a pretty decent difference, $120 from this one to the other side. All right, so then right here we can look to see when the actual property was purchased, the last listing that is on there. If it hasn't been listed, it's not going to show up here. So if you click right here, you can see when the property, it pops straight back up into our MLS and shows you all the previous listings off of it, and shows you here's what the property looked like whenever it was sold last. One exterior front photo, and that's it. As you can tell, they just pulled the square footage directly from the Realist Card. But if you see, the other stuff sort of matches up here for you. Your built, bedrooms, baths, things like that. So you can sort of confirm a little bit of that information. You see it sold for $46,200. All right, and then you can see when they purchased it, if there's any other mortgages on the actual property. So right here, you can see this was a foreclosure sale, and then they sold it to this company right here in 2008. And if there was a mortgage on it, it would say it right here of where the mortgage is. So right here, you can see the last mortgage was whenever this person, the Millers, purchased it in 2000 and had a 45 and change mortgage on it. So this guy does not have a mortgage on the property. Also shows you the property map, where it's sort of located in the areas of everything else. And there you go. That's that page of the Realist. The next page is the comparables in the area. Do I take any value in this? Absolutely not. I'm going to go pull my own comparisons because it's not going to tell me anything. Because right here, I don't know anything that's going on. I can't really tell anything, good, bad, or the other. Overview for the Greensboro in this zip code. Again, could be completely different across the board. As you can tell, if the property is tax value is $60,000, average sale price is $200, doesn't mean very much there for that property, does it? Yes. All right, neighbors. The neighbors, you can click to see what neighbors are around this person to see like, hey, is there anything else that's available around here that's comparable? So like this property right here, it's got a picture up, means it sold pretty lately. So we can see that that one's on there. So we could click on it and see what they look like, things like that, and be nosy neighbors if we really wanted to. See if anybody else owns properties in this neighborhood, things like that. Neighborhood profile, I absolutely hate this page. So it tells you the population. This, if you're sharing this information, you've got a good likelihood, chance of getting in trouble with the real estate commission, because we can't tell people these kinds of information. You can send them to other things, whatnot, but us as realtors, we send them something and it's not accurate, they could come after us. So we can see what's rented, owners, things like that, quality of life. I have no clue why they put any of this stuff in here. So there you go. That is the Realist Card based off of the tried MLS. It's a matrix system, but I'm pretty sure a lot of MLSs use the exact same Realist. Now, if you want to email this to you, click right here. You can go quick and it just does it automatically, or you can go to the customize and just do which tab you actually want it to do. So if I don't want the neighbors, I just want the property details. There you go. If I want to do the quick one, it's literally just going to send me every stinking thing under the sun. All right, so that is how to use the actual Realist Card from the Matrix MLS systems to be able to find more information out about a property before you get ready to list it, pull up all the information for your listing agreement, or just to get a little bit of a backstory on the property itself. Let me know if you've got any questions or any other videos that you might want a walkthrough on. I'd be glad to do it for you. Thanks.